Shout out to each and every one of you guys out in boxing land. Coming back to you with another video. I've been looking at some of these young guns coming up, and man, we in for some exciting times. I was looking at my dude, Alexander Usyk, and he's doing his Fortnite dances and stuff. Quite entertaining. I like Usyk, man. I like Usyk. I like Usyk. I'm not gonna lie. I like Usyk, and he be training. You know, he's training for that boxing event. Boy, I'm what you need. You watching my channel. If you like what you're seeing, you know what you need. He don't try to pretend. He don't try to front. He try to give you the truth. Okay? And he gonna give you his views on boxing, but don't get it twisted. We must learn something every single day. And the last session we had with Floyd Mayweather TBE, we learned a whole bunch of stuff. And a lot of stuff that could help you as a fight fan and make you enjoy yourself. And that's the whole point behind these discussions. It's for you, because it's what you need to know more stuff about boxing. All right, so we're getting into it. So, man, why boxing's actually getting better? Let me explain to you guys what I'm seeing over the horizon. And I love what I'm seeing too. I'm seeing boxers, not just young, hungry boxers, but dedicated boxers. Boxers understanding that their whole lives are geared towards boxing. I was looking at Truck, aka Lorenzo Simpson. Go check out that dude. Dedicated to the craft of boxing. Southpaw, slick, skilled but got power in both hands. But he used boxing. He reminded a little bit of Errol Spence, but he got defense that I've never seen before. He don't get hit in his head like that. He don't even get touched easily, right? He got real good defense. And you know what I like about Lorenzo Simpson? While COVID-19 is going on, that boy be running up hills, running up 5 miles uphill. You know what I'm saying? Lorenzo be, doing his thing with Mickey Bay and his whole team and Coach Calvin. Shout out to Coach Calvin. The man got his head on his shoulders. They matching him tough every consecutive fight, trying to give him tough fights, trying to get durable opponents, trying to challenge him so he could develop his all-round skill and performance. I look at this young man and I said to myself, God golly, this boy is mature already at the age of 19, 20 years of age. God damn it. We got youngsters coming up that are going to be better than Floyd Mayweather. I love it. I love it. And that's what I try to explain to you people. Boxing as a sport evolves. And that's the beauty of boxing. Let me see who this is here. Shout out to whoever's in the chat. Mr. Christopher Smith. Salute. Mr. Gary Russell Jr. calling everybody out. Yeah. The actions speak louder than words. He chirping. That means he's going to have a fight coming up, which is good. But if he stays at featherweight, what does that mean? You got to make a movement. Actions speak louder than words. I'm going to quote Floyd Mayweather. They say, oh, you went and donated money to the George Floyd. He say some people like to chop, 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 chop. I like to do. Actions speak louder than words. Some guys be talking big. Man, I could take out this guy. I could take out that guy. It's all chop, 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 chop. In the meantime, brothers be working hard in the background, running up mountains and shit. You know what I'm saying? Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak. It ain't boasting if you could back up your junk. He said, I'll fight Mikey at any weight, 130, 135, 140, 147. Yeah, he chirping, man. And that's cool. I know the Gary Russell Jr. just trying to get traction out there right now. I'm not saying he clout chasing, but I'm just saying he's trying to get traction out there. He talking, until I see him move up from featherweight, he just talking. Show me. You want to go up to 130, 135, 140, 145, whatever. Step up and show me. Okay? Because Little Crap Santa Cruz ain't just chirping. He said, I want Tank. What did he do next? He said he wanted Tank. He went up to 130. He went up to super featherweight. And he got him a little trinket. Wasn't a real belt or nothing. But he got himself a trinket. Okay? Y'all can say, what do you want about Leo Santa Cruz? He landed a Tank fight. Leo got Tank. Leo got caught fronting. Leo got the Mexican kid. Good fighter. I forgot his name. 4 divisional world champion. Whatever. Man, come on, man. I should know this. Abner Mares. All right. Abner Mares is supposed to face Tank at 135. Bottom line is talk is cheap. Keith Thurman be calling out people right now. Sounds good. I'm not saying no. It's good. Bring a little excitement, etc. Show me the fight. Y'all can talk how much you want. Chirp, 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 chirp. Back it up. When Leo talks, he said, I want Tank. He made movements. When Cotto said, I want Mayweather, he made movements. He wasn't bullshitting nobody. Right? That's what we want. We want action. Okay? Otherwise, you just bump in your mouth. You just run in your mouth like many people in boxing today. Many fans, not the people, not the professionals necessarily, but the fans, they just be chirp, 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 chirp. But I'm going to say this. I like it from Gary Russell Jr. He making some noise. He letting people know I'm still around. That's basically what his point is. I'm still here. I'm still relevant. That's what that is. He just want to get a fight with a big name. But nobody going to take you serious, Gary Russell. Until you step up from featherweight and you stop talking about you're the longest reigning WBC champion. Nobody give a fuck about that. We want to see fights. We want to see what sense is it to be the longest reigning champion, Gary Russell Jr.? This is to Gary Russell Jr. Shout out to him. Salute to my brother from the fight brother. You gotta go get something. You can't let them come to you. Ain't nobody gonna come to you right now. Nobody's studying you. You know, Shakur Stevenson, he wanted to face you. He wanted to face the British kid. I forgot what his name is right now. The British kid, right? Couldn't get the fight. He moved up in weight to super featherweight. He looking to get something at super featherweight. It ain't nothing at super featherweight. He moved up in weight. He gonna move up to lightweight. He gonna get something from somewhere. Somebody gonna have to face him. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing, Gary Russell Jr.? You're not even moving up in weight. You're just staying at featherweight, waiting for what? You know what I'm saying? And don't tell me that people in the business don't want to do business with you, because even if that's the case, make a movement. Go up in weight. Show us you want it. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, nobody's going to take you seriously. The fans can't take you seriously. You're chirping, and that's cool. But what are you going to do? Are you going to show us that you're going to do something? Don't just be fronting. Otherwise, we know you're going to face another featherweight, because that's what you do. You're the featherweight. Oh, you broke Terrence Crawford's jaw? And this is the pros now. Amateurs was one thing. Pros is a different thing. You know? No disrespect to Gary Russell Jr., but we know what you're really trying to do. You're trying to get some traction. And nobody mad at you. But here's my thing. You still at featherweight. So unless you're looking for a big name at featherweight, what you doing calling out guys at high divisions knowing that you're never going to ever face them? You just calling them for call's sake. You calling them out. You're not going to go up there. What, you got to wait till the guy settles a fight? No, make the movement. Show us that you mean what you say. Step up to 140. Now you got their attention because you in their domain. Step up to 147. Fight somebody at 147. Show them, hey, I'm in this area now. Make some noise that way. Actions speak louder than words. We'll keep it bumping. Christopher says, he said I'll fight Mikey at any weight. That's talk, man. Until I see him come out of featherweight and fight somebody in a higher weight class, it don't have to be nobody special, just someone at a higher weight class, it don't mean nothing. It's just talk. I ain't mad at Gary Russell Jr. Not mad at him. What he did worked because everybody's talking about him. He's relevant. That was the bottom line. Whether they say good or bad about him, they saying something about him right now. So he stays relevant in the mix. That's what he's really about right now. I'm not saying he wouldn't face those guys if those guys call his name out right now, but at this present time, I don't think he's serious. Actions speak louder than words, man. Going back to what I was saying about this present generation and the new crop that's coming up, the new breed. What I like about this new breed of fighters is that they taking the game real serious. And I like that. They understand you got to be committed from day one to the final day, win, lose, or draw. If you really love the sport, or even if you don't have no more passion or love for the sport, you got to still stay dedicated to it and professional. You know? So I like the upcoming fighters that I'm seeing, man. It wasn't always that way in boxing. Guys were not always dedicated. You know? And Chuck definitely have a good head on his shoulders. I saw him once, he wanted to eat a cupcake so bad. You know? And then he realized he had to drink sugar. If Chuck lives a healthy lifestyle, he eats, sleeps, and lives healthy, he won't want sugar no more. He won't want no more sugar. He's going to realize that soon enough. Because the kind of clean living just makes it so good. I was listening to Sean Porter today with his father, talking about mindset and lifestyle and transitions. Some real nice deep shit, man. You know, because a lot of times what happens is guys get caught up in their success. They get caught up in their success. And it's not that they're not hungry anymore. Some of them are still hungry. But they kind of got caught up in an illusion of what they are. And so they don't push as hard. Mostly mentally, I guess. And Sean Porter gives us an insight into how people have different changes in their lives, and that can help them to see things a little bit differently. And where, you know, we think very simplistic as fans. We forget that the guys who are fighting are human beings. They got lives, they got families, and they be in different stages of their lives. And the different stages of their lives changes their attitude towards the game. And not necessarily their dedication to the game, but their view of the game. How they see it, I guess. And so the incentive and the motivation, and even what we would think is a simple thing, like approach to the game and so on, I guess it changes with different individuals as they view life differently. You know? And sometimes what seems significant is not as significant anymore. And sometimes what is insignificant at one time turns out to be very significant at another, you know? Because your view of life changes. Your view of life changes with different situations. And that's just part of life, I guess, for all of us. I just think that it's just beautiful to see this new generation have that sacrifice and that commitment to the sport. And even seeing Sean Porter being committed to the sport as well. You know, somebody asked me, or I saw a question somewhere, I can't remember when. Do you think that Sean Porter could become world champion again? And my answer to that is inexplicably, hell yeah, he can. Okay? Sean Porter can become world champion very soon. Like he could be the next. Just like that. The thing about Sean Porter is, game-wise, Sean Porter has a plethora of skills that makes him a threat for anybody, but what people don't realize is he's working on his finishing touch and he's working on his defense as well, you know, strategically speaking. And that might seem like the last couple of touches and the last couple of approaches, but human beings, we're different human beings. And what might seem like a simple thing to have to deal with might become complicated because the individual, the human, is going through some sort of change in their lives. So, it is what it is. But I wanted to talk about more than that. I wanted to talk about just the beauty of the sport of boxing and how it is changing and how fighters' dedication to the sport is so much fun to watch. And I also wanted to talk about Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. Let me show you how beautiful boxing is. Now we've got on the undercard of Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., we're going to have I don't know why I'm blanking out with names, but I am, okay? It's okay, though. The young guy who fought on the last YouTube fight, right? He's the brother of the other guy that faced the other guy that was being trained by Jeff Mayweather. So I can't remember nobody's name all of a sudden. It's cool. He's going to be on the undercard. So YouTubers are now going to deal with basketball celebs. Nate Robinson is going to be facing the life of me. I can't remember the guy's name. It's not Paul. Is it Paul? It's Paul something. Jake. What are the two brothers' names? I can't remember their names. I thought that was interesting. This is going to be on the undercard of Roy versus Tyson. This is what you guys have to understand is boxing is becoming something really interesting, something that Floyd wanted to do. He wanted to have these fights with celebrities. He wanted to have celebrity fights, and there are celebrity fights that happen. I remember last Shane Mosley facing Shaquille O'Neal, but I'm talking about like on a big scale, pay-per-view scale. I just can't remember the two guys' surname, but it's gonna come to me. But yeah, Nate Robinson is gonna be facing Jake, whatever his surname is. And the cool thing about it is, we saw that introduced on DAZN. DAZN did it in a big way. These YouTubers. We're hearing about exhibitionists now, and now we see that we're gonna have exhibition fights with throwback fighters. So you guys who wanted to see your throwback fighter, your favorite throwback fighter, fight somebody that maybe they were supposed to fight or whatever. Awesome. You might get to see that, And so, I see Julio Cesar Chavez doing the thing with the Jorge Arce. I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. And they're gonna be using headgear. So Roy and Mike Tyson are gonna be using headgear, and I think they're gonna use bigger gloves. It's like it's kind of like a more like sparring, but they're still gonna go at it. I enjoy that. I think that it's gonna be great for the sport. I was listening to Intangible Boxing. And Intangible Boxing, I was talking about Floyd versus Ishioka. And Intangible was kind of talking down Ishioka and stuff. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, well, why not? Ishioka, yeah, he's on 130 pounder. Really walking, fighting at about 140 something pounds today. But that's a good fight for Japan. Japan, esteem Ishioka, they're gonna be real hype about this because Ishioka is a good fighter. He was a good fighter, and he gonna actually be a boxer that know what he's doing in that ring against Floyd. And I thought to myself, that's not a bad fight at all. And it's just an open-minded way of looking at it, where you got YouTubers that fight. Now we're gonna have YouTubers with celebrities that fight. We're gonna have older guys duking it out. Why not? You stay healthy. You got to be honest with yourself because this is not playing boxing. You're going in there to go to war. But at the same time, the fans can get back that nostalgia, to recapture that excitement to some degree. So everybody's satisfied. The people wanted to see throwback fights, they can be satisfied. The people who like the modern boxers today and don't want to tear down the modern boxers today can be satisfied with the professional fights. The fighters that are facing fighters today who want to do exhibitions, they can do it too. Everybody be boxing. And even you could start boxing today, right? Show me what you got. Jab, right hand, left hook. Huh? Show me what you got. Bob and weave, baby. Dip to the side. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It can become an exercise for even people who don't normally box. And sometimes I've seen guys duke it out on the road. You know, people got road rage. And instead of coming out with weapons or guns, they knuckle up. And they go at it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Huh? What I'm saying. So, I mean, it's a great sport. It's a great sport. When I saw 77-year-old Joe Cortez rat-tat-tatting on that boxing, on the boxing bag, I said to myself, "Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful." I'm telling you, man, it's a sport that keeps you healthy. It's a sport, and if we stay positive, and even if where necessary, we praise guys for what they have accomplished in the sport, and we get excited for the upcoming guys. I understand that boxers today are smarter how they box and how they fight and everything than boxers and throwback years. Throwback years would take more risks. They went for the gusto. They went for the KO. But boxers today, they don't do that. They fight smarter. And I watch these young 19-year-olds, and they also business savvy. They smart. They're not selling themselves to the big promotional companies just like that. They understand that sometimes you take your time in the game and make yourself one which everybody wants you even more, and you prove yourself and you manage yourself and you learn the business on your own, and you even, instead of borrowing matchmakers and all of these from these big engines, you could pick your fights for yourself as well. You're not going to be on the big screen. You may be under the radar a little bit, but you could figure out what's the best and toughest challenge and so on, build your own. You know, but you got to have a knowledge of the game. And some of these guys who are doing this got people who had knowledge of the game advising them how to do it anyway. See what I'm saying? I look at these young boxers, some guys got experience and knowledge and smarts beyond their years. Beyond their years, man. It's a new breed. I'm loving it. When you got boxers that cannot be exploited, they understand what their strength is. They understand their value. They understand their worth. I love that. I can't tell you how much I love that. And they still going to fight the fights. And they still going to fight, you know, the tougher fights out there. They're going to do it. And I appreciate them for it. And I gotta say, when I look at what I'm seeing, and then again, certain guys know how the boxing game go now. They understand the boxing game. And they've seen a fighter triumph over the boxing game itself. And it did hurt the boxing game. As much as, you know, the machine of the boxing game would like to make you think that it hurt the boxing game, it didn't hurt the boxing game. It opened up the boxing game. So that now we got more players from different places. And sometimes they didn't come up the amateur ranks and work their way up. We got some players playing the boxing game right now They didn't come up through the boxing route. They came up through, whether it's social media route, whether it's through other routes, and got recognition. But kudos to them. And then there are others who came up through the amateur routes, and then they came up to the pros, and then with these boxers who didn't come up through boxing routes, quite frankly. And because of that, they get recognition as well. And in this kind of social media age where things can travel so fast, we should have the old greats and the old legends. Like Mike Tyson was so correctly saying, I get it. I get it. And I respect it. You built all this credibility. You built all this reputation. Why can't you cash in on it? And nobody can exploit you for it. Roy's his own boss. Mike Tyson could have called Roy, and Roy could have said, yeah, man, I'm going to sign on the dotted line. Because Tyson owned his own brand. Roy owned his own brand. There ain't nobody Tyson owned, nobody Roy owned. When you're your own boss, you got more leverage. You can do whatever you want. Roy was his own boss, and Tyson was his own boss. Boom. Easy work. You know what I'm saying? And then we see Evander Holyfield training. I hope Evander Holyfield keeps on training, because there's going to be somebody for Evander Holyfield too. You know? And we'd love to see, I would love to see Tyson versus Holyfield as well, if Tyson does well in this 8th round. Because there's room for everybody in the sport of boxing. It's got width and breadth. We see boxing open up the door to MMA. And now we have a portal of exchange. And we see boxers talking to MMA fighters all the time. Even Mike Tyson was just now talking to Conor McGregor. We got that exchange, and that's beautiful. Think about what I'm saying. It's beautiful. Because boxing's helping MMA stay in the foreground, MMA helping boxing stay in the foreground. That's beautiful. And the interesting thing about it is, all of them came from boxing. MMA came from boxing. Boxing came from MMA. It wasn't called MMA, it was called bare knuckle brawl. But the point is, they both intertwine like this, and now everything's coming full circle. And I'm loving every second of it. To see that Bob Arum's working with Al Heyman, and they're going to have that Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight. Hopefully sooner than later. The early in 2021, they could have that fight, the better for both of them. You know, because it really need to go down. Sometimes certain plans that you have planned, you just forget about, scrap it, and just go with whatever, you know. And we don't want this to stale out and the public be like, because already people are starting to talk about Terrence Crawford like, oh, he ain't pound for pound number one, blah 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 blah. You know, it takes the taste out of it when people start bad talking a fighter. And really, what you want is Terrence Crawford to stay, you know, as premier as possible, so this fight can be as premier as possible. You know, because many a time, you know, the luster in a fight falls out, whether it's Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, whether it's Sam Judah versus Mayweather, whether it was Roy Jones Jr. versus whoever, right? After he got knocked out by Antonio Tarver and Glenn Johnson. It takes the luster out of it. At least from the fans' point of view. You know what I'm saying? The fighter's still the fighter. They might have decayed or whatever, but they're still the fighter. Their value or worth kind of goes down with a knockout loss or with a loss, no doubt about it. But the fighter's still the fighter. Pacquiao proved that. Pacquiao proved he was still the fighter, right? And Pacquiao won the 5th fight with Marquez. Pacquiao was like, I just saw Marquez training too. Marquez went back in the gym. He was like, woo, Mike Tyson coming out. Marquez started training. Telling you, man, it's a cascade effect. I like to see these old timers getting freaky down with it and deciding, man, I'm gonna get out there and start throwing some bones. That's good, because you're gonna stay healthy. You're gonna stay alive. This is what you love to do. I ain't mad at it. And you guys are professionals. You guys know what it takes. You guys know when you could destroy yourself or not. All right? So I don't disrespect the professionals, man. And I really hope and pray that this fight that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. does, it really electrifies the crowd, the audience, everybody, so that we could have more of these kinds of fights. More of these throwback fighters saying, "Man, I'm gonna get in the ring." I know Sugar Ray Leonard is not gonna do it. I understand. He not interested in taking no more punishment. Respect the Sugar Ray Leonard on that. I understand. And you done it, man. You bad motherfucker. You done it, Sugar Ray Leonard. So I respect you for that. But for all the others that are not feeling that way, and they feel like they need to get up in the ring, let them get up in the ring. Let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. You know how much years that will add to their lives? It sounds strange, but when you let somebody be what they are and they're free to be what they are, it's the ultimate, man. So anyway, I just think there's something for everybody in boxing today. You know, from a positive perspective. There's something for everybody in boxing today. And I love what Roy and Mike Tyson is doing. Because they're saying, you know, a lot of people, they just kind of trapped in this COVID environment. And this could be actually inspiring to them. To see one guy seem to go into the line of danger, you know, Roy going into the line of into the Mike Tyson Lions den. And we want to see what Mike Tyson looked like and if he can maintain it for how long. Because, you know, both of them, you know, as much as Mike Tyson looks spectacular, we don't know how long he can maintain that spectacular nature. You know, he's gonna be spectacular probably for the first 3 rounds, and then what happens after that? You got to catch a breath at some point. You know, I'm just saying. But Mike Tyson looks spectacular, man. He looks really ripped and fit, and I love it. It's good for him too, you know. And I like that he's feeling alive. I like that he's feeling well. I like that he's in a good place. I like that he's such a businessman, and he's hustling. And I hope his hustle just, you know, is blessed and multiplied. You know. Because there's a lot of really good vibes coming off of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. There's a lot of good vibes with boxing when we have a sort of think outside the box sort of situation, a creative situation, you know. And I hope it prospers and it does well. Legends only, baby. And for the young guys who got to deal with building their career reputation, I love how these young guys are pledging themselves to the sport of boxing, and they got their heads on as well. The right people speaking in their ears and showing them what the real scene is. I'm liking it, you know. And I'm just praying and hoping that Gervonta Davis, you know, can get his weight under control to some degree. You know, that's the only thing I'm worried about, really, with him. But Errol Spence looks like he's pulling himself in line, you know, or doing what he need to do, you know. Terence Crawford always been doing what he needs to do. So kudos to him. And I just want to hear more positive things in boxing. I know my boy Showbiz, the adult, he geeking out. He was on Tyson's ranch, and he went in there and was watching all this stuff. And he took pictures with Mike Tyson, big Mike Tyson fan. I'm happy for Showbiz, the adult. This is a great time to be a fan of boxing. You know? And if you like a certain fighter, that goddamn it, like that certain fighter. Shoot, you're a fan. That's what fans do. Don't feel ashamed about it. Don't feel ashamed about it. I like Wenhen Minyon, minimum weight champion of the world, 54 and up. I ain't ashamed to say that. I like that little guy. I like Hecky Butler. He ain't in boxing no more, but I like Hecky Butler from South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I don't care what nobody. I don't like that they making memes on Wenhen Minyon, because all this little dude did was whoop ass. You know, that's all he did. And if you see him, you really like his style too. You know, you like him. You know, and it's sad because this dude spent his career, got 54 wins. You know, I told you guys about him. And now they bring him up to make fun of him and to pit him against Mayweather. That's not right, man. You can't be taking somebody who, and everybody's like, oh, we don't know that guy. Hey, listen, man. Listen. The man did something excellent. And I'm not just talking about the 54-0. Go watch his fights. Go watch his fights. Yeah, okay, he's the smallest weight division, strawweight, whatever. So was Ricardo Lopez. Okay, they were the smallest weight class out there. But go watch their fights and really enjoy their little fights, man. And dude got skills. Dude got skills. I've been a fan of him since 2000 and I think it was 2012. I've been a fan of that little dude. Salute him, man. I'm unapologetic about it. I'm a fan of him. All right, I don't like people making fun of him. I don't like people using him to pit him against somebody else as a tool because y'all want to show something, but y'all just using him as an argument. He's not a tool. That man is a bona fide world champion. And y'all need to respect these guys. Then y'all go and say all kinds of crazy things about the dude. It's not right, man. That's not being respectful, man. The man spent his whole entire career doing this. All right? So don't, like, you guys just take fighters and think, you know, don't do that as fans. Okay, you don't know about him? Go watch his fights then. Show me that you're a fan of boxing. Go watch his fights. You know? Go watch the fights of the boxers. Don't do them like that. Don't do them like that. Now, if you see the truth in the fights and you realize, hey, man, this guy didn't win that fight, whatever, fine. But I appreciate the guys that actually went and watched the fights of these fighters. I dig Manny often. Got skills, man. They're little guys, so they don't really knock out each other just like that. But, I mean, he got skills. I saw him outbox a dude, a southpaw. Man, he pieced that dude up so nice. Didn't stop him, but he pieced him up. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just wanted to talk about it because I'm so excited about boxing. It has a place. There's a place for everybody in boxing. And the avenues are opening up. And I just like it. It's an exciting time. Even in spite of the COVID-19 and all this vaccine stuff I'm hearing about, and people talking all kinds of crazy things about wearing masks and mandatory masking, all this kind of crazy stuff. In spite of all of that nonsense that's going on out there, there's always something to inspire and make people hopeful. No matter what's going on through your life, be thankful you got health and strength, man. And you can come on forums and type a little something in there. And some of you guys might be feeling miserable or down. One guy came up on my discussion platform. He said he was just so down and depressed. And we started talking boxing, you know. And trust me, man, every one of us, including myself, is going through something, always going through something. But I'm going to tell you this. Stay healthy. Feel motivated to throw punches. Even if you don't even know how to throw a jab. Start it off. Right? Step. Step. Get your hand back up. Protect your chin. Right? Simple stuff. Step. Step. Turn the punch over. Okay? Get some music. Step. Step. Turn. Step. Right? And just go forwards and backwards. Step. Step. Jab. Get the rhythm. Feed the rhythm. Feed the rhythm. Feed the rhythm. I like how Usyk was dancing, man. He was dancing because, see, feel the rhythm, baby. Boxing is a dance. Feel the rhythm. Gotta get the rhythm of the fighter, get the time of the fighter. They always say fighting and dancing are very similar. So if you can dance, you probably could fight too. All right? Salute to everybody. You know, I ain't got no hate for no boxer out there. Not even Triple G. I saw Triple G working his butt off. We're working his butt off. Watching them train. And man, I'm just so motivated by these guys. I'm so motivated by these guys because now I'm actually getting into it and doing the sport. It's very motivating. And I still don't do enough, but, you know, watching boxing and just being involved with boxing, it's different to you actually talking about boxing and you never really threw a punch or something. And I just wish the best for you guys, man. And those of you who have thrown punches and stuff, keep training, man. And if you want to, somehow we could form a YouTube community. And when the COVID-19 is over, what we could do as YouTubers, we could arrange fights with one another. Nothing personal, nothing. You don't have to have no beefs to start a fight. And maybe I'll fly across by you guys and we'll duke it out in a ring. Spar a little bit. Get to know each other better. They say, according to the Matrix, you do not truly know someone if you haven't fought them, if you haven't fought them. So, I'm just saying, we need to, as a community, feel what it is to be boxing again. And for some of you who hit punching bars and shit, great. But we could form a group, a real true YouTube boxing group where folk really do put it down. They throw hands. Just like how the boxing boys, they throw hands. Throw hands, man. When you throw hands and you experience how tough it is to go, we could do 2-minute rounds if you guys want, or 3-minute rounds. You go 1 3-minute round, you're probably tired after that, after throwing hands or receiving some punishment. But here's the thing. The beautiful thing about it is you threw your hands. Or you didn't throw your hands and you were just protecting yourself, whatever. But you was in the situation. Now you can talk about boxing. But until you've done that, what's the use? You talk till your eyes are red, or you tired. What do you really know about boxing? You know what I'm saying? So let's get ourselves in shape. Let's get ourselves throwing those hands. For those of you out there who want to know something about diet and a vegan way of living, a friend of mine, he actually grew these. I got a lot of stuff that I grow in my garden in the back, but I got this from a friend of mine. It's a huge cucumber, right? And tastes good. This has minerals, nutrients, all kinds of stuff in it. I would suggest to people that they grow their own food. Now, let me show you an easy way to grow your own food in your own house. So you could take a discarded bag if you want, like this, or you can take, that's flaxseed I just had there, or you can use a pot in your kitchen or on the sill of your kitchen, and you can put inside that pot seeds, whether it's, well, you won't put nothing big to grow, but you can put things like tomatoes. Put tomato seeds in there, and you grow a little tomato tree right up in your kitchen. Okay? Or if you don't want to use tomatoes, because tomatoes are more of a vine, you can grow things like lettuce. You can grow things like chive. It's a skinny thing. I already cooked my food. All right? And you can grow things like seasonings. You can grow your own seasonings. If you got a little plot of land in the back of your house, you till out the soil or whatever, you can grow things like potatoes. Potatoes, peas, whether it's green beans or green peas. You can grow things like pumpkins, carrots. Just get the seeds and grow it. Grow it yourself instead of having to go to the grocery. Because whatever they put in those things, the fertilizers, whatever, it's already GMO food. Or if you're going to get the organic version, seeds or whatever, get the seeds for the plants. So you don't have to go to the supermarket. You don't have to go to the store and get stuff that may not be GMO or organic. And then when you get the seeds, it's cheaper to grow your own food than to buy it in the store. Right now, I'm growing ginger in the back. I got a big old ginger tree in the back. Ginger is very expensive in the store. I got ginger, right? I've got garlic. I'm growing a garlic tree right now, right? I got pawpaw. Or papaya, you guys know it as. It's growing on the side of my house. I got something called thyme. I have my own saffron trees, also known as turmeric trees. I buy the turmeric powder in the store because the saffron that I got, or the turmeric that I have, it's so strong that you got to really dilute it down. It's a root from the soil, kind of like a carrot. And healthy living is the key. You know, Troy King talks about it, vegan diet, and how it keeps you on point. I'm flat 160 pounds. I just need to make 154. That's gonna be easy, because all I gotta do is just not drink any water for the whole day, work hard. I'm 154. It's really simple. I lose 6 pounds of water in my body because I drink a lot of water. A lot of water, right? And the point is, and by the way, I just drank. What did I just drink? I believe this was. I know you guys won't believe this, but I just drank 2 liters of water. Right? But the point is that when you drink a lot of water and when you eat sufficient amounts of food, you know, you sleep properly and you exercise, and these guys train all day, you're gonna lose weight naturally. And you're gonna boil down to the weight or the mass you're supposed to be at. It's a great thing, man. The only thing I would suggest to some of you guys who are athletes is to go visit a very good chiropractor. It's got to be a very good one, not no crappy chiropractor that mess you up or don't help you. To get yourself realigned, make sure your body's properly realigned and all your muscles are loose. Because when you're loose, I need to go get realigned. When you're loose, that helps you even more with your performance. Because a lot of people are very stiff, then they go get yoga and stuff, and then they go, like, a lot of people try to get their hands and their arms and stuff massage and stuff from a physiotherapist, when in fact they should just go to a chiropractor and realign themselves because the muscles are out of place. Because massaging and relaxing the muscle might be one thing, but you might have to realign it, and a chiropractor can do that really well. So sometimes that's what it calls for. Anyway, people, so I'm gonna be out of here. I just realized that boxing is actually getting better and better with time. And I guess a lot of people don't want to change with the times, and a lot of people talk about, you know, the throwback eras and stuff because the fights were more, I guess, action-packed. I don't know. You still get action-packed fights today, just they're more systematic, more calculated, you know, more precise. That's what you're getting now, and you're getting more athletes that are stronger and so on. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And now I guess you guys will get the best of both worlds when the throwback fighters come together. So you guys could you guys can discuss that. Anyways, I'm what you need. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget you can share, like, subscribe, and donate via Western Union MoneyGram. I'm out of here. Peace.